Welcome to Rodney and Dr. A's Relationship Hub. Whether you're single, dating, or married, this is your go-to place for discussions about relationships. Our goal is to inform, empower, and of course, entertain.
We've been dating since junior high school. We've been married for 34 years. We've been married 34 years and 2 months to be exact.
Long time.
Yes. We have 4 children and 1 grandson. We've received many requests to create a space that deals with relationship topics. We will be transparent. We will share from our life and our past experience and our knowledge in our 34-year marriage. If you have any questions that you would like to ask us about this particular topic or another topic, or maybe you have a topic that you would like for us to address, please share that information with us in the box below so that we can address that and provide the people who this platform is for with the information that is most helpful to you. Because the goal is to make sure that the information that we are delivering is helping and healing somebody's relationship or marriage. That's the goal.
That's right.
Today's topic is a dating conversation.
So what are some of those questions or conversations that I should be having with someone as we start to move down that dating path? What are things that I should be wanting to know about them and letting them know about me as we get further along?
And those are some of the questions that will be taking place in the conversation. The reason that I feel that this topic is important is because it allows you to determine compatibility. It allows you to figure out, okay, me and this person, we kind of connect, it might work, or it also keeps you from continuing dating a person or hanging out with a person that you're not compatible with and wasting, your time. You don't really want to waste your time, especially when you're my age. You don't want to waste a whole lot of years on something that's not going to work out. So we're going to talk about a couple of topics that will help you make that decision of whether or not you're compatible or incompatible. However, some of these topics may not be for a first date. It all depends on your comfort level and how long you've known this person. For example, you may not want to discuss sex on the first date. You don't want to talk about how you're celibate or if you're fruitful, how fruitful you want to, fulfill the fruitful generation on the earth and things of that nature. That may send the wrong message. It also may scare the person off. So you're going to have to kind of assess your comfort zone based on what questions you're going to ask on the first, second, third, or however many dates that you decide to go out on with that particular person.
That's right. Please be careful, because if you get a first date, we definitely want you to get a second. So the first thing we're going to talk about is those fears and hesitations that people have when they're starting to get to know one another. A lot of people come into the relationship already having that wall put up because they're afraid to divulge any information about themselves for fear of how that person may look at them. If I tell them I've done this, what are they going to think about me? If they find out I have this in my past, what are they going to say about me? If I tell them my family has this type of background, what are they going to think? And they feel like if they give too much information too soon, it's going to push the other person away, and they never will truly get that opportunity to know who they really are. So a lot of folks start off with the wall up right off the rip because they're afraid of being judged.
So are you saying that if you had told me about your family, we would be together today?
Probably.
All right, so for those of you who are, and I don't really advise anybody to rush into a relationship and try to make it work. You need to kind of feel it out, and that's another topic. But for those of you who don't really want to waste your time going out and getting dressed and putting on makeup, I'm talking about the women, and getting dressed and putting on your wigs and things of that nature, you can ask a pre-date. Like, for example, if you meet a guy maybe in Walmart and he asks you for your number and you start talking with him over the phone or texting, if you don't really want to waste your time and you don't want to have to go through all this, fixing yourself up for something that you think may not work, you can ask pre-date questions like, when you're on the phone or you're talking to each other, what is it that you are looking for? Some people they date for various reasons. Some people date just to meet different people. Some people date to make a connection and a marriage connection. So, what is it that you're looking for? You may want to ask that so you don't really waste your time. Another question or conversation that you may want to get into is long-term goals and aspirations. Does this person have a vision for his or her future? I think that's very important. Even though Rodney and I, we got married really young, we kind of had a vision, but a lot of what we went through is we aged and became older, and our life vision kind of changed, and that kind of I guess caused a little bit of friction in our life. But understanding a person's vision for their future is important, because it allows you to know, okay, this is something that I'm interested in, this is somebody I want to be with, and this is something that will work for me. You also may want to know if the person wants to ever own a home. Do they believe in home ownership, or do they want to rent for the rest of their lives? If the person does not have children yet, does this person want children? That will determine for some of you whether this is the right person or not, because if you want to have children and this person does not want to have children, that may be incompatible. That relationship may not work out because you don't have the same vision and goals that are aligned. Your parenting styles. You want to make sure that you both have the same vision and philosophy on parenting. This is where Rodney and I bumped heads as well, because we did not discuss our parenting style. He was raised one way, I was raised another way, and those ways collided. My mom was a little bit more stricter than his. Like, for example, he was allowed to catch the MTA, the bus. I was not allowed to do that. I didn't have a lot of freedom. So the way that he saw the way that we should raise our children and how we should release them was a little different, and it caused a lot of friction. So make sure that you both are on one accord when it comes to your vision and your parenting philosophy.
And again, remember, we're not putting this in any particular order. Remember, we said some of these questions aren't something that you want to be talking about on the first date, but these are just conversations and things that keep in mind as you do move along in that relationship. And some of the things probably seem very trivial, because some people probably would say, y'all arguing about how you raise your kids? Trust me, that caused a lot of friction. And it's something that if you never discuss it, you end up discussing it in front of the kids, and now they're rubbing their hands together trying to figure out how I'm going to play mama against daddy, because daddy thinks this and mama thinks that. And that's what they do.
Yes, they do. And they watch and they learn. Another thing is, I've already said that, you define a relationship before you waste your time, you're wasting years and months go by. What is it that person is looking for? And is it the same thing that you're looking for? You also want to define what is dating, because the definition of dating is actually going out with various people. It's not a monogamous relationship. A lot of times when people are dating, they're kind of perusing different avenues and deciding on, what is it that I want? What is it that I need? So you may not want to define that relationship right away as a monogamous relationship, but you need to understand what type of relationship is this going to be. You also want to find out if the person is dating, will anyone be offended that you're out with this person?
She might think she's my girlfriend.
Right.
I don't think I'm her boyfriend.
Exactly. Do they think that they're in a relationship with you? So right. You want to get that situated. You want to talk about family dynamics?
Yeah. Family dynamics is very important, because that definitely gives you a window into who this person is. So when we talk about family dynamics, we're talking about observing this person when they're in the presence of family members and friends and things of that nature. How do they communicate with each other? How do they resolve conflict? How do they behave when they're around each other? So talking about how they are with their family is fine, but you really get the full picture when you're actually able to observe them in that environment. And that's going to give you great insight into how they are as a person and what type of morals, ethics, and values they will actually bring into your relationship.
The next topic is financial views. Money, money, money. Yeah. How do they view money? Are they good stewards over their money? What is their debt ratio? You have some people that spend, and you have some people that save. I consider myself a moderate spender?
My kids consider me Julius from Everybody Hates Chris because they swear that I'm the cheapest person on the planet and I don't spend money on anything, and that is just not true. I'm a selective spender. I'll spend money on something that I really, really want, but I don't just go out and spend $100 on sneakers and $500 on I'm not doing all of that. So I'm not Julius, but maybe somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I don't spend a lot. If it wasn't for my education, I'd probably be close to debt free. So you want to get that out there. You understand, what is their
the income ratio?
Not the ratio, but the your credit
score.
Your credit score. Yeah, you want to know what that credit score is, because that's a big determinant on whether you can own a house or not, buy a car or not, etc. So you want to understand that credit number.
The next thing we'll talk about is religion. Those morals, ethics, and values that we all carry. If you're dating someone and you're getting to know someone, do you have the same beliefs? Is your belief system, do they attract each other or do they repel each other? Alicia and I were brought up, in Christian homes, so every Sunday you had to go to church whether you wanted to go or not. Right. No matter what you did Saturday night, Sunday morning, you was going to be sitting in that pew. But if you're dating someone and they don't have the same religious beliefs that you have, that is definitely going to cause some type of friction. If they don't have those same core morals, ethics, and values that you bring into the relationship, that's also going to cause a lot of friction. So you definitely want to talk about what those beliefs are. And again, you'll be able to observe exactly what those morals, ethics, and values are as the relationship progresses.
You also want to discuss past relationships and some lessons that were learned from these relationships. How long ago was the person's last relationship? When did your last relationship end? Because you may be a rebound. They may have not gotten over that person that they just broke up with. And you may want to know, why did the relationship end?
Her fault.
It may be, but it's not something to smash the person over the head with, because we've all had some past bad relationships in our past. But also from that, we should have learned a little something. Right. We should have learned what worked, what didn't work, what I should do and what I shouldn't do. Right. But you want to, get that information out, because that will tell a little story about that person. Absolutely. As far as how good or how bad, how many relationships they're in and out of. So it'll give you some history of how the person rolls in a relationship. Now, there are some other things that you may not have to or need to discuss but you need to think about. And that is what you wear and how you dress on a first date. Because unfortunately, people judge you by the way that you look. And even when you go on a job interview, you're supposed to dress nice and look a certain way, because unfortunately, your first impression says a lot about you. So the way that you dress does send a message. So be leery of what we dress, especially women and men for the most part. But women sometimes can show a little bit too much and may send the wrong message to the guy. And he may, because you're revealing a lot of stuff, he may think that this first date may mean a booty call. And that's not the message that you were trying to send out.
No.
You also have to think about, what are your deal breakers and your non-negotiables? What are things that you can deal with, and what are some things that you just won't and you can't deal with? There is no perfect person, so there are always going to be deal breakers and non-negotiables. And there are going to always be things that you can deal with, and there are always going to be things that you can't deal with. You also have to think about, well, how long can I be with this person without a commitment? You also have to think about, how long can I invest my time without becoming attached?
Not too long. So those are just some of the conversations that we want to consider as we're moving down that dating path. We want to think about what those fears and hesitations may be that we have, not just for that person, but for ourselves. We definitely want to understand the definition of what that relationship, what direction are we going in, where is it going to end up? And I think more importantly, or very importantly, is that family dynamic. How do they interact with their family? What background do they come from, and how they deal with different things that life will present? We thank you for joining us today. We hope that you enjoyed the information that we presented. If you did, we want you to hit the like, but we definitely want you to hit that subscribe button so that every single time we put a new video out, you'll be the first ones to know.